Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today is a day I've been waiting for a really long time. I want to say probably 4 months. Anyhow, today's the day we're gonna roll the lexota in here and figure out what happened to the motor. The shop's not merely done, but it's done enough to where I can roll it in here and investigate what happened to the truck and show you guys what happened and source some parts so I can get her fixed up. Anyhow, so let's get her in here and get her figured out. Alright, cool. So we got the truck in here. I've got to go to work, so I can't really dive into it today, but tomorrow we'll start diving into it. And before anybody asks me, Mike, didn't you have a lift in your old shop? Yeah, I still have the lift. Where there's a power situation that I've got to work with, so I really haven't set it up yet because I got to get a power situation figured out. Right now I'm just running all my lights and everything off of a small generator, but it's enough to work on the truck, create content, stuff like that, and we'll worry about the power later on when the ground unfreezes. It hasn't been above freezing for about a week, so I can't dig in the ground anyway. Alright guys, well, it's another day in the shop, and we're going to start getting to dive in the motor on the lexota, see what happened. So it's the first order of business is to do the things we need to do to get the engine out. We're going to go simple first, get the oil drain, which I've already done, and it was nice and clean, no metal in it, no chunks, no nothing, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I guess we'll find out here shortly. And I got the coolant draining, as you can see there. Got the computer undone. So luckily this is all pretty straightforward. Just unplug this and the harness all goes with the motor. So that should be pretty straightforward. So I think we're making pretty good headway so far. Alright guys, well, it's another day. Since my last video you saw I got the wiring and the lighting done, so time to get back on the lexota again. So where I left off, I believe, is I took the wiring off for the computer and I got the cold air intake off. Anyhow, so what I'm going to do next is take the exhaust off, and then once that's out of the way, then we can get under there and do the bell housing bolts. And I think we're getting pretty close. Maybe a couple wires, a couple hoses, and then we can get this damn thing out of here and get it on the engine stand. So those of you out there that have been contemplating putting band clamps on your exhaust, this is why you put band clamps on your exhaust. So all I had to do was unbolt these. Don't have to worry about no stupid seized up nuts and bolts that are all corroded and shit. I mean, everything comes right off and easy peasy. And of course it'll all line up again when it goes back together. So anyhow, just food for thought. It's definitely worth doing band clamps. This took like 5 minutes. If I had to undo the like 3 or 4 studs and nuts and all that crap, you gotta spray it down with penetrating oil, hope to God they come loose, and if they don't, then you gotta deal with all that bullshit. This you don't. And worst case scenario, if the band clamp happens to break, you just buy another one. They're not that expensive. Or if for some reason it actually does fuck up, you just cut this bolt and boop, it comes off. So anyhow, I highly endorse getting band clamps. All right, update time. Got the bell housing bolts out. Took the tires off so it made it easier to work on. The truck's not so high in the air. Got the cherry picker hooked up to it. Got the coolant hoses disconnected. Let's see, I already told you about the exhaust. Got the oil pressure gauge and the coolant gauge undone because they're aftermarket and go through to my gauge in the truck. Got the fuel line undone. Got the engine mounts unbolted. Got the power steering hoses undone. The only thing I got left is I want to take this throttle body off, because if this chain decides to hit the stepper motor, I really don't want to mess with that stepper motor. So I'm going to do that real quick and then we'll pull this sumbitch out. Alright, just to show you what I'm up against here. There is the clutch, pressure plate, and flywheel. There's the heater core. And there is the core support and the belt drive. So I have a feeling that I'm going to have to change the angle of the motor. See if I can pull it out that way. That'll keep it away from the heater core. That's the only way I'm going to be able to do this. I just don't remember how the hell we put this thing in. It was a while ago. But anyhow, that's what I'm up against. So I figured I'd pause the time lapse to show you what my dilemma was. All right. I got it out. I only forgot to unhook one wire. So that green wire right here goes to my tachometer, and it goes to the igniter, which I forgot to unhook. So anyhow, just giving it a little bit of an angle, and once I got the core support, once I got this alternator past the core support, I was able to give it enough twist to where it wouldn't hit that heater core. So there it is. I'm going to get this thing on the engine stand and we'll peel it apart, see what happened to it. Happy day, happy day.